Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Steel City Sports Report, where we talk everything Steelers, Penguins, Pirates, and for one final time, Team USA World Baseball Classic Baseball. What is going on, good people? Back here for the third WBC live stream that we are doing here on the channel. The first two, we were watching Pittsburgh Pirates ace Paul Skeens dominate each and every time he took the mound. Tonight, no Paul Skeens, but we are in store for one hell of a matchup, this being the final game for all the glory for that big World Baseball Classic trophy. The United States tonight taking on Venezuela. So you have the powerhouse United States going up against the underdog Venezuela. Venezuela tonight making their first World Baseball Classic final appearance, this being for the United States tonight their third straight appearance. Here in a moment, we'll talk about how both of these teams got to this point. We will then go over the starting lineup, starting the live stream a little bit later on than what we normally have tonight. They just went through a whole fantastic, quite honestly, presentation of all the highlights of this year's WBC. They introduced the lineups for both teams. We will do something similar here over the next few minutes. But before we do that, and before we get to first pitch in tonight's World Baseball Classic final game, of course, to start off the show, if you are new here, welcome to the Steel City Sports Report. On your way in, please hit that like and subscribe button. Share this live stream so that we continue to grow viewership here on the channel. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the live stream again. And in the comment section, any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you may have reacting live along with me to tonight's baseball game. Feel free to put those in the comment section. I enjoy when you find folks do so. I really have a good time when you guys are active in the comment section. Also, go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X. With that, we now get ready for tonight's World Baseball Classic final game. And what a WBC overall it has been up until this point. Every single game pretty much entertaining in its own right. We've seen shocking upsets. We've seen blowouts and everything in between. Let's start here with Venezuela. They coming out of, I believe, Pool D in this tournament did Venezuela. They ended up being the second team to come out of their pool, and they ended up getting a tough draw to begin this single elimination part of the WBC. The quarterfinals, they met up with the reigning, defending the World Baseball Classic champions, that being Japan and, of course, Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the whole lot of them that won this whole tournament back 3 years ago. And Venezuela in that game, they went toe-to-toe with Japan, and they did not blink. When, Venezuela would strike, Japan would retaliate. Venezuela just kept on going out there and dishing out the blows to Japan, and ultimately it was a Wilyer Abreu 3-run home run late in that ball game that decided things for the Venezuelans, sent them on to the semifinals where they took on Team Italy, the same Team Italy that beat the United States back in pool play. And Italy, their Cinderella story came to an end at the hands of Venezuela. It was a close game throughout the most part, and then seventh inning rolled around. Venezuela had one last spurts with the bats. They were able to hold on and get the win in that game. This is, of course, like I just said, Venezuela's first time making the World Baseball Classic final, and they are hoping to make it 1-for-1 on their trip to the World Baseball Classic final, get that first championship in their first try. As for the United States, though, typical U.S. fashion, has it been pretty necessarily throughout this tournament? No. I mean, on paper, you can compare them in the Dominican Republic all you want. You can make an argument the most stacked team in the tournament, but sometimes they have looked like world beaters. Other times it's taken a little bit for them to get going, especially offensively throughout the tournament. Aside from maybe the first two games, Team USA with the bats has been kind of quiet throughout the tournament. Maybe they're saving up all of their run scoring for this matchup here tonight. They ended up going 3-1 in pool play. Of course, Italy winning the pool that the United States was in. They ended up taking on an old friend, Canada, in the quarterfinals matchup. winning that game 5-3. Team USA owning Canada. Here's something that we've all heard before. And then 2 nights ago, I should say, the United States versus the Dominican Republic, a true power-on-power Titanic collision between those two teams. And even though it was a low-scoring 2-1 outcome, the game delivered on all fronts, living up to the hype that we were giving it heading into the game. The United States, Paul Skeens was on the mound, repping his jersey again here tonight. Skeens, 4 1/3 innings pitched of 1-run ball. Very impressive for not having his sharpest stuff going up against that all-star lineup. You then also had a couple other Pittsburgh guys help him along the way in the bullpen. Mason Miller, David Bednar, 2 Pittsburgh natives, they helped the way. So making a couple Pittsburgh connections here. Great to see that Team USA keeps going back to the Steel City to add it to this roster. 2 home runs, one from Gunnar Henderson, not in the lineup tonight, spoiler alert, and Roman Anthony, who we remember, Anthony, top young phenom for the Boston Red Sox. He was not on this roster when the initial Team USA roster was announced. Instead, it was Corbin Carroll, outfielder for the Diamondbacks, who is on Team USA's roster. He gets hurt. Roman Anthony comes and fills in for him, and he has been electric from batting near the back end of the lineup for Team USA. He and Henderson, those 2 home runs, ended up getting the job done for the United States. Skeens in the bullpen, shutting it down the rest of the way, and that brings us to the 3rd straight time that the Team USA will play in the World Baseball Classic Final. You had them win in 2017, the WBC, and then, of course, everyone remembers the heartbreak from 3 years ago, losing to Japan, Shohei Ohtani striking out Mike Trout. This team tonight looking to avenge that 2023 team and get back on top of the baseball world here this evening. Also, maybe a little bit of good mojo for Team USA as well. Walking into the ballpark tonight, Team USA was handed game-worn United States Olympic hockey sweaters. Each player wore those jerseys into the stadium here tonight. So looking forward to maybe the USA baseball, kind of like the Olympic hockey teams for the United States, getting back on top and making sure that everybody knows who the best in the world is here tonight. Nolan McLean, top prospect for the New York Mets, is on the screen here to my right. He is taking the mound tonight for the United States, and he will face this Venezuelan squad as Ronald Acuna Jr., ladies and gentlemen, will step into the box. Pre-game festivities are now over, and we are off and running here in the World Baseball Classic Final. And first pitch of the ball game. Welcome to the game, Nolan McLean. A line shot single right back up the middle from Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Venezuelan faithful in the crowd in Miami tonight. They immediately have something to cheer for. Acuna, a bit of a bat flip on that single as well. Put it right back up the middle between Bobby Witt Jr. and Bryce Terang. Did Acuna, and now here comes Michael Garcia, the third baseman from the Kansas City Royals. Tons of KC Royals representation in this World Baseball Classic. Many of their players doing well, from Bobby Witt Jr. to Michael Garcia, who has a .435 batting average in this tournament. And then Vinny Pasquantino, of course, the breakout star of the tournament for Team Italy that was eliminated by this Venezuelan squad. Garcia grounder right to Bregman at third, over to second for one, on the first, and a double play turned right off the bat there for the United States. McLean executes a nice breaking pitch. Garcia lunges out to get it. Bregman to Terang. Back to Harper at first, and it is a twin killing for Team USA. Getting that first base runner of the ball game off the base pads, and now 3 pitches. We've already seen a single, and we've seen a double play here. McLean, his 4th pitch of the game. It's going to be a fastball inside to the number 3 hitter here for Venezuela. It is Luis Arias, multi-time batting champion. And this pitch here, Arias, top of the zone, 99 from McLean. It's going to be a lazy fly ball out to center. for Byron Buxton back in the lineup here tonight. He'll make the catch. A quick 5-pitch first inning for Nolan McLean. Gave up the single, but immediately bounced back with the double play ball and the lazy fly ball there from Arias. Can't ask for much better there from the top New York Mets prospect. Team USA now coming up to bat. Real quick, want to get to the lineups here for both of these squads here tonight. Venezuela, you just saw Ronald Acuna Jr., fantastic all-star for the Atlanta Braves. He led off for Venezuela, followed by Michael Garcia and Luis Arias. Batting fourth tonight, not playing in the field. Instead, he is the designated hitter. It is Eugenio Suarez, just returned on a one-year deal with the Cincinnati Reds in the MLB this upcoming season. He'll be then followed by the number 5 hitter, that is Gleyber Torres. Ezequiel Tovar, the shortstop for the Colorado Rockies, bats 6th and is at short tonight. Wilyer Abreu, who hit that big home run against Japan, he bats 7th and plays in left field. Salvador Perez, one of the more likable figures in all of professional baseball. He does the catching, batting 8th. And then kind of a second leadoff man, I would say, for this Venezuelan lineup, batting 9th. It is Jackson Chourio, outstanding young outfielder for the Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be Eduardo Rodriguez who does the pitching here tonight. Bit of a journeyman around Major League Baseball. Rodriguez, I believe, who's he with now? Is he still with the Diamondbacks? I'm trying to remember where Rodriguez has been. He seemingly has been a little bit of everywhere in his big league career. For the United States, they're about to come up to bat here tonight. This is a lineup that we've seen a little bit here in this tournament. You got Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge batting behind him. Kyle Schwarber, the designated hitter, bats 4th. That top 4 has been pretty constant throughout the entire World Baseball Classic tournament. Back in the game here, this is where we get some of the lineup changes tonight for Mark DeRosa's squad. Pregame back in there for Gunnar Henderson at third base, batting 5th. Roman Anthony in left field, bats 6th. Second straight start behind the dish for Will Smith. So the second game in a row that Cal Raleigh, who has had a slumbering World Baseball Classic, he is on the bench again in favor of the multi-time World Series champion Will Smith. Bobby Witt Jr., his first pitch that he sees here tonight from Rodriguez, he's going to sky it out all the way to the warning track, and it's caught there by Jackson Chourio. So how about that? Both teams wanting to be aggressive quite early in this ball game. First pitch swinging for both leadoff men, Witt and Acuna. There's a look at Rodriguez. 29 starts last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks, a 9-9 record for him. Rounding out Team USA's lineup here tonight, the 7, 8, 9 hitters, it'll be Bryce Terang, it will be Bryce Terang and Byron Buxton. My bad, that is the 8-9 hitter. Will Smith batting 7th. Here is Bryce Harper stepping in now, and this is kind of one of the guys in the United States lineup that you can't really replace. I mean, the only other true first baseman on the roster for Team USA is Paul Goldschmidt, who's the oldest member of the United States roster. So Harper right now, kind of like Aaron Judge, one guy you can't really sit because of performance, and Harper's going to pop this one up left side. Couple steps into the outfield grass. Tovar puts it away for 2 outs. Harper was batting 167 coming into tonight's ball game, has been struggling, and his struggles continue there with that pop out. There's a look at Omar Lopez, the manager for Venezuela, and Omar Lopez has put together quite the coaching staff around him. He's got legendary Venezuelan players, Robinson Chirinos as his bench coach, Miguel Cabrera as the hitting coach. You got Gerardo Parra as a first base coach. Tons of former big league experience on this coaching staff for Venezuela. Aaron Judge in there facing Eduardo Rodriguez now. 2 pitches into the at-bat. It's 1-1 against Judge. Rodriguez, his 7th pitch of the ball game right here. Judge takes it low. Another changeup, 87 miles an hour, down and out of the strike zone. Looking here at the some of the notes tonight for Venezuela and the United States. I'll get to that here momentarily. 2-1 to Judge, and this one is going to be popped to the right side, and it's going to get out of play. So Judge now sends the count to 2-2. Talk about a difference in many ways between the two starting pitchers in tonight's game. Eduardo Rodriguez, over 200, I think, major league starts. And oh my word, 2-2 to Aaron Judge. The ball just a hair down and out, but Rodriguez gets the call. Judge down on strikes looking to end the first inning. Wow. And just like that, first inning's in the books. That rolled quickly right along. We're already on to the second inning now. That was fast. Maybe, that keeps up and we won't be here till 11 o'clock tonight. We shall see here. Some of the notes heading into tonight's ball game for the United States and Venezuela. The United States has played Venezuela 17 times at the professional level. They are 10-7 in those matchups. Stars and Stripes 3-2 all time against Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic, looking to extend that lead to 4-2 here tonight. Nolan McLean about to come back out for his second inning of work. He is now the first rookie pitcher to start in the World Baseball Classic championship game. So congratulations to him. Already off to a better start than what he showed against Italy back in pool play. McLean pitching in the last pool play game and got touched up by Italy quite a bit. Italy winning that game 8-6, but the game was not as close, I should say, as the score indicated here. 7 of you in here right now. On your way in here this evening, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section. Your thoughts and opinions on tonight's game throughout the duration of the game. I'm in there. 5 pitches. We'll take that. I mean, not sure what sort of pitch count Nolan McLean is on tonight. I would assume it would be kind of like the two guys that pitched before him in the quarter and semifinals, Logan Webb, Paul Skeens. Each of those gentlemen had a 70 to 75 pitch limit, so we're probably looking in the same region of pitch count here tonight for Nolan McLean. And Flacco, regular viewer here on the channel, just like SESR Dad, here for the win tonight. Flacco, you were the good luck charm back on Sunday night. Team USA was struggling. They were down 1-0. You came in here and boom, 2 home runs from Roman Anthony and Gunnar Henderson. You're getting in here early tonight. Hopefully that means that the Team USA bats are going to awaken throughout the entire game here this evening. Top of the second, ladies and gentlemen, now underway. That first pitch from Nolan McLean to the cleanup hitter, Eugenio Suarez, misses for ball 1. McLean here working quickly here. I guess it's part of both the pitchers and the hitters tonight. You want to be aggressive. Don't give anybody time to think. McLean, the 1-1 here. Suarez fouls that one off to the left side. It's going to be strike 2. 1-2 now is the count. Suarez batting 188 here in this WBC. He is a type of guy that will either hit the ball very far or strike out, just like he did right there. A sweeper from Nolan McLean gets his first K of the night on Suarez. I get why Venezuela keeps batting him in the 4-hole. I mean, dude's got crazy power as a third baseman. We here on the Steel City Sports Report talked him up quite a bit throughout this MLB offseason, wanting the Pittsburgh Pirates to sign Suarez, but does strike out a ton. And now here's Gleyber Torres batting 308 in the tournament. He watches that one go right down the middle for strike 1. The 11th pitch of the ball game here from Nolan McLean. A little bit of a stutter there in his delivery. Maybe messing with Torres a little bit, and it might have worked. Another look called strike right there from Torres. Quickly 0-2. Fastball, sweeper, another curveball. It's in there at the knees. And Nolan McLean, he came to play tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Top prospect for the Mets. One of the better young pitchers coming up in the game of baseball. And 2 strikeouts on, I think, 7 pitches to begin his second inning of work here tonight. Good stuff, Nolan McLean. Now it's Ezekiel Tovar stepping in, and he's going to take a hack at the sweeper for strike one. McLean getting a new ball here from the umpire. Tovar, one of the few bright spots on the Colorado Rockies lineup. Rockies seemingly in a never-ending rebuild. Pirates fans can speak from experience. We know what that looks like. Tovar takes this pitch and he'll slap it into right field. It's going to be a little blooper to Judge. So Venezuela does get a base runner here with 2 outs in the top of the second. Tovar, this was another breaking ball, breaking down and away from McLean, and he got the end of the bat on it and sent the ball where it was going. Takes a couple hops in front of Judge. That'll now bring up the 7 hitter in Venezuela's lineup here tonight, and it is Wilyer Abreu. He's had a knack here for Venezuela in the WBC of hitting big homers. Maybe a chance to break this game open early. 238. He is batting here in the WBC. Star outfielder for the Boston Red Sox. He and his teammate Roman Anthony doing battle here this evening. Abreu watches that pitch go in there for strike one. 1-1 now on the Red Sox. And before that, a pickoff move back to first base. Tovar goes back in, sliding head first. Harper almost got the tag there in time to get him out. McLean, pretty nasty pickoff move he has. Tovar takes his lead at first. He's inching. Doesn't go. Fouled away by Abreu there. 1-2 now on the number 7 hitter. Salvador Perez, the catcher, waiting on deck. After a 5-pitch first inning for Nolan McLean, this will be his 13th pitch of this inning here. And on that 13th pitch, he will get a pop-up here, and Bobby Witt Jr. is going to camp under this one a couple steps into left center field, and just like that, we're motoring along here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Already on to the bottom of the second inning. These teams not wasting any time whatsoever in being aggressive at the plate. And we're already going to have Kyle Schwarber up to bat here for the United States. Some other notes, by the way, Team USA put out there this evening. The United States, the first country in tournament history to appear in 3 consecutive World Baseball Classic Championship games. Good stuff. I would certainly hope so, this being America's pastime and all. Also, Nolan McLean right there, he only helped with this total. Team USA pitchers, they have struck out 76 batters so far in the World Baseball Classic. Add in the 2 right there from Nolan McLean that inning, and now you are 2 punch-outs away. Team USA is from tying Japan's record of 80 set in the World Baseball Classic from 3 years ago in 2023. So I like to think the way that Nolan McLean is dealing right now and the way that that bullpen looked against the Dominican Republic back on Sunday, that they are at the very least going to tie that strikeout total here this evening, probably break it by a few more. Some other notes here. Venezuela looks like they're going to be short a couple of arms here tonight. Omar Lopez, the Venezuela manager, said that he received text messages from 3 different MLB organizations asking him not to use certain pitchers that he used last night in the win over Italy to get to tonight. And the last thing here, these teams not only playing for pride of country and to, add something to their resume, $2.5 million of bonus money goes to the winning team here tonight. So I know it's, to guys like Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna Jr., some of these, bigger contract guys playing on these teams, it's probably, not as much as they would think, but $2.5 million, that's certainly be incentive enough for me to go out there and do my best, get the glory of the win here tonight. Taking a look here on a Twitter picture Paul Skeens posted, sitting on the bus, getting ready to come into tonight's game. Back to work now here, bottom of the second inning, ladies and gentlemen. Venezuelan pitcher Eduardo Rodriguez drops a curveball in there in the dirt to Kyle Schwarber for ball one through a first pitch strike to Schwarber. 11 pitches for him in the ball game. Got to wonder how long Rodriguez goes as well. I believe this is, like Nolan McLean, his second start of the WBC, so he is pretty fresh, but you do want to keep in perspective here, if he has a pitch limit put upon him by the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-1 here to Kyle Schwarber, lefty on lefty, and Schwarber down to a knee, just barely makes contact with that ball a little bit up in the zone. Count now goes to 2-2. Rodriguez goes into his windup here. Or no, was just pausing there for a second, soaking in the energy of the crowd here. I believe it was Pirates relief pitcher Dennis Santana today. He said that it was going to be a large majority of Venezuelan fans here tonight. Early on, appears to be true, and they were just given something more to cheer about right there. Kyle Schwarber down on strikes, swinging. Lefty on lefty matchup there, and that pitch pretty much right down the middle to Schwarber, and he missed it. And now here comes Alex Bregman into the box, batting 182 here in the WBC. He's been on and off in terms of starts with Gunnar Henderson, but lefty on righty here tonight, looking for Bregman to make a big difference. That first pitch there didn't initially look like he broke the plane on the swing, but he did 0-1 on the check swing. Here comes Rodriguez to deliver again. Bregman sees that one just outside for ball one. 1-1 now. To the comment section here. Flacco here. Life-changing money talking about that $2.5 million. Absolutely. Absolutely. But to Aaron Judge, I mean, he could, $2.5 million, that might, buy him a watch with the salary he's getting from the Yankees and endorsements on top of it. 1-2 now as Bregman swung and missed again. Here comes the 1-2 from Rodriguez, and Bregman is going to chop this one off the end of the bat to the first baseman and racing to the bag. Beating Bregman there is Arias, 2 down here already in the bottom of the second inning. And now Team USA 1 out away from having back-to-back 1-2-3 innings to begin this ball game, and that is not a good sign whatsoever. This United States offense, they had, of course, an explosive game against Brazil, but to be honest, who really hasn't? Roman Anthony here sees that first pitch inside for ball one, but since that, first game against Brazil, they went down early to Great Britain, ended up coming back and winning that ball game. They then beat Team Mexico, only getting across 5 runs in that game. There's a strike there on Roman Anthony, top of the zone. They lost to Italy, scored 6 runs in that game, but it was well too late after Italy already blew the doors open. And then against Canada and the Dominican Republic, 5 runs against Canada, who weren't throwing the most intimidating pitchers in the world out there. And then the Dominican Republic, very good bullpen for them. Team USA can only get 2 runs across in that game as well. 2-1 now on Roman Anthony. Took another ball inside there. Left on left has not been an issue for him here in this tournament as he sees that pitch go outside. 3-1 now on the Red Sox young slugger. He's been hitting home runs off of lefties and righties in this tournament, Anthony. No sort of issue here for him, and he's going to bounce this one. It's a chopper right back to Eduardo Rodriguez, and Rodriguez very nonchalantly going to scoop it off the dirt of his mound and throw to Arias at first. That is going to be out, number 3. So 1, 2, 3 back-to-back innings for Eduardo Rodriguez. Not a good start for Team USA's offense. And here's to Nolan McLean, hopefully continuing his fantastic start to this ball game, being able to get strikeout pitches and work out of runners being on base. Blanco here again talking about that $2.5 million bonus going to the winning team here tonight. I think Judge's poop bag is worth $2.5 million. Nah, I don't want to, go that crazy and say that the guy has golden trash bags here real quick, but I bet you there is some sort of possession that Aaron Judge possesses that is in Miami tonight that is worth at least $2.5 million. That certainly would not doubt me here. That is the retirement money for most people. Yeah, definitely is retirement money, and that's a South sender too. We'll be heading closer to Miami if it were ever to be, mysteriously $2.5 million put into my bank account. I'd be out of here in a hurry. 8 of you in here tonight, rocking along with us on tonight's World Baseball Classic Championship game. On your way in, please subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the Steel City Sports Report. Again, it is 0-0 as we already are heading into the top of the third. Thinking back to the 2 games we were live for earlier in this tournament, the both games that Paul Skeens pitched, Mexico and Dominican Republic, those games felt like a little bit of a drag during the middle portions, but this game rolling right along here. I believe first pitch was somewhere around the 8:15 mark. We're half an hour in, and we're already nearly a third of the way through it. So I will take that here on this Tuesday evening. Venezuela going to have, I believe, their 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. That'll be Perez, Churio, and then back to the top of the lineup with Ronald Acuna Jr. Really, Perez, Salvi, likable guy. He better hope that if he does get on base that he has his running legs on him here tonight, because those are 2 very fast guys right behind him in Churio and Acuna. Taking a look here at the rest of the lineup for Team Venezuela as I turn back to my right here, and Perez chips one the other way. And that is going to be a base hit down the right field line for Salvador Perez. Venezuela, they're getting runners on, boys and girls. Nolan McLean looks like he's going to be pitching from the stretch a good bit here tonight. First pitch swinging again, a la Acuna in the first inning, but this time it's here in the third inning. Salvi and Acuna lead off first pitch singles to begin the first and third innings. And here's Jackson Churio for his first at-bat tonight. Got paid big bucks very early in his baseball career by the Milwaukee Brewers. Going to be a key member of that squad and keeping this trend for the Brewers alive, where it seems like offseason after offseason they lose a star player or 2, but they bring up guys from the minors and they fill in those roles phenomenally. Churio probably going to need to step up a little bit more for the Brew Crew this year. 0-2 quickly on Churio that he steps out, takes his time out. Now back in there. Nolan McLean, his 22nd pitch of the evening coming up here. Don't think he needs to worry about the speed running threat and the catcher Perez at first. And Churio, that was filthy. A sweeper from McLean gets Churio looking a little bit silly on that swing. Third strikeout of the ball game for the New York Met. Striking out a Brewer and 1 gone. And here comes Acuna up to bat. Now getting a double play here for McLean will probably be easy to get Perez at second base. However, Acuna, he's going to fly out of that batter's box if it's on the ground. Pitch here for McLean, just a little up and in, 99-mile-an-hour sinker for ball 1. Acuna, maybe finds a gap somewhere too. Perez he's going to need to get chugging because Acuna won't be too far behind him on the base pads. This pitch here gets a call. McLean has that sinker just a hair inside, but it's called a strike. 1-1. Coming to Acuna. And swing and a miss there. Sweeper again from McLean. That pitch seems to be working well for him so far tonight. Shakes off this pitch here. McLean, a 2.06 ERA through his first 8 career starts. Only 2 other pitchers able to do that for the Mets. There's a pitch down low. McLean now runs the count even, 2-2. Michael Garcia waiting on the on-deck circle. Here's McLean looking to execute another pitch. Pitch to Acuna, and it's popped. Foul down the right field line. The crowd there going to fight over it. Count remains here at 2-2. Acuna trying to get another base runner on here, and he takes that pitch up high. Had to turn away from it a little bit. Counts now even, 3-2. 99-mile-an-hour gas again from McLean. Perez takes his lead at first, has that little C on his jersey right here, showing he's the captain for Venezuela. McLean, the 3-2, and it's high, and he walked Acuna, and now 2 runners on for Venezuela here in the top of the third. In the heart of the order, coming up here with Garcia to be followed by Arias. Hopefully, McLean only gets to see Garcia here, meaning he rolls a double play ball. There's a good backdoor sweeper that gets in there for strike 1. Garcia grounded into that double play in the top of the first. McLean looking for a repeat of that situation. The 0-1. Fastball well outside. 97 for ball 1. 5-pitch first inning for McLean. Now his pitch count in danger of getting inflated a little bit. This is his 32nd pitch of the ball game here, and Garcia pops this one back behind home plate and out of play. 1-2. Acuna at first. Perez at second. USA manager Mark DeRosa looking on. McLean, the 1-2, and it's going to get past Will Smith back to the backstop, and forget the double play now. That was another sweeper from McLean, but this time he yanked it, and it goes past the backhanded stop attempt for Smith all the way back to the rotating advertisement board back there. Thankfully, it doesn't kick any further away from Smith other than that. But Acuna and Perez move up 90 feet each. Here's the 2-2. And Garcia drives this one. It's going to be deep out to left center field. Making the catch on the run is Buxton. But scoring the game's first run on a sacrifice fly, it is Perez, and Venezuela is on the board first here in the final of the WBC. A long sacrifice fly for Michael Garcia. Nice way to cover ground there for Byron Buxton, making the catch on the run. Also on that play, Acuna, he advances from second to third. 2 outs. Now Arias steps up to the plate. He takes strike 1 at the knees. McLean got to be extra careful here with Arias, multi-time batting champion, 0-1. And Arias fouls this one. Looks like he was not expecting a sweeper right there at the top of the zone. He was very late getting the bat to that ball and just barely fouled it back to the screen. McLean here, maybe wiping some sweat from his brow. Suarez on the on-deck circle for Venezuela. Up 0-2 on Arias. McLean trying to get out of it with little damage. And Arias, one hopper right to Bryce Terang at second on to first. Harper. And indeed, damage limited for the United States. Venezuela gets their first run of the ball game across. Couple of hits. Well, a hit for Perez, a walk for Acuna, wild pitch for McLean, bit him in the ass a little bit. Sacrifice fly brings in Perez, but he gets Arias to chop out there to end that half of the inning. On to the bottom of the third now. And I don't mean to be, that dramatic of a guy here, but the United States, I'm really hoping that they have more than just that, one inning where everything clicks offensively like what they had against the Dominican 2 nights ago, because this Venezuelan team, I have a feeling, unlike the Dominican Republic, maybe it was, my confidence in Paul Skeens that had me confident the Dominican Republic wasn't going to score much more than 1 run. I have a feeling Venezuela tonight, they could have an offensive explosion throughout the ball game. They've been getting runners on base and balls that they are putting in play, finding a couple of holes. So the Bats, now's the time to wake up here for the United States. They're going to hope the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the lineup do that. It'll be Smith, Terang, and Buxton. So used to saying Roman Anthony in the 7th hole. He batted there pretty much the entire tournament. And now tonight they move him up a spot into the 6th spot. So Will Smith, Terang, and Buxton. That inning there that led to a run for Venezuela started off with a hit from their catcher. Hopefully the same thing happens for the United States here with Will Smith. There is Ken Rosenthal talking with Mark DeRosa in the United States dugout. Apparently DeRosa and Rosenthal, not too many people out there a fan of their work recently. I will just leave things at that there in terms of my comments. Taking a look here. Team USA. I'll read this here in a second. This list is kind of crazy here. Team USA could have had another pitcher start tonight other than Nolan McLean, and judging by this list here I'm seeing on Twitter, Garrett Crochet, Max Fried, Hunter Brown, Dylan Cease, Sonny Gray, Andrew Abbott, and Brian Wu. The United States tried to recruit all of those players to be added to Team USA's roster midway through the tournament. All of them were denied. Wow. I mean, could you imagine if you had Garrett Crochet pitching in this game here tonight, Dylan Cease, Brian Wu, who was in, Cy Young Award conversation last year. I mean, Andrew Abbott, he's really, the only guy I wouldn't want, in place of McLean here on this list. But what could have been for the United States, hopefully these guys don't get, hopefully these guys not playing do not cost the United States the championship here tonight. Will Smith, a pop-up fly out on the left field line, caught for out number 1. Bryce Terang now stepping in, 7 for 19 here in the WBC. He's been known as a guy who consistently has good at-bats for the United States. Some other guys you can't say that about. Takes that first pitch for a ball, 1-0. Rodriguez, wind up in the pitch, Terang grounder, and it gets past Luis Arias at first base. Good piece of hitting there for Bryce Terang. Arias diving out, full extension to try to keep that ball in the infield. Cannot do it. And the United States, somebody take a picture. This is a moment in history. They have a runner on base here in the 3rd inning. 10 of you in here. Subscribe to the channel on your way and leave a like. Go to the comments section. Leave your thoughts and opinions on this game there. Rodriguez comes set. His first time working from the stretch here tonight, and that changeup, top outside corner of the strike zone, is called on Byron Buxton, and Buxton thought he could have been, a dark horse for a guy that tears it up for the United States in this WBC. He's been doing everything but tearing it up. 0 for 6 in the Classic. Probably the most scrutinized change of the lineup here tonight. Taking out Pete Crow Armstrong, putting Buxton back in there. Same thing applies for Alex Bregman getting put back in there in the 5 spot nonetheless over Gunnar Henderson. 1-1 here on Buxton. But before we do that, a pickoff move to Arias. Looks like Rodriguez going to keep close monitor of Bryce Terang at first base. Decent speed for Terang, but, not burner stuff where he's a threat to steal the bags at any given moment. This pitch high and in on Buxton, so now it's 2-1. If Byron Buxton has, anything offensively to provide here, he might as well put it to good use tonight for the United States before he goes back to the Minnesota Twins, which on paper it looks like they're in for a very rough year. Buxton swinging through that 92-mile-an-hour fastball, top of the zone. He might not see a better pitch this at-bat. Count now is even at 2-2. The Venezuelan faithful coming alive there in Miami. I believe Miami, the largest population of Venezuelans in the United States. And I'm sure a good portion of them bought tickets to tonight's ball game. 2-2 here to Buxton. And, what are we doing there? He got absolutely fooled by that changeup. Nowhere close to making contact, and he's down on strikes. 2 gone now for the United States. And back to the top of the order now, I believe, with Bobby Witt Jr. looking to salvage something of offensive production you got going this inning. Takes that first pitch, the sinker, in there for strike 1. Flew out on the first pitch of the ball game back in the first. Haven't seen Bobby Witt deliver in the power department quite yet this WBC. Be nice for one right here, and he is going to hit this one out to center field, but Churio is going to camp under it about a foot shy of the warning track, and they're able to get Terang on, but unable to do anything with it. So they get a base runner on with 1 out, and then it's a strikeout and a fairly routine fly out that ends the 3rd inning. On to the top of the 4th. Go back here to the comment section for a moment. Flacco, Miami, only good for spending money, partying, and gambling. Not a great start for a family. Tampa, Sarasota, Orlando areas are way better in my opinion. I agree, Flacco, and I only have had, vacations in Florida. But I think anybody, with some common sense understands Miami and Daytona as well. Those are, places where, hey, spring break, partying, nonstop, action 24/7. But me, I'm more the guy that, needs a little bit of a laid back setting. And Tampa, Sarasota, Orlando would love to be in one of those places. If I could be in shot in decent driving range of, Bradenton, Florida, where the Bucks do spring training, and maybe a couple of amusement parks, Disney World, Universal, all that, I think that'd be the perfect spot there in Florida. Grew up in Miami, says Flocka. So you're speaking from experience there. I see. And we need to do something ASAP, burning through innings. Yeah, this game, it is going like the speed of sound right now for the World Baseball Classic final. Every other game has seemingly been, a little bit smooth going, sometimes dragging, but this one, we are motoring right along. This game started, it said, on MLB.com that it was going to be a 8 o'clock start time to the game first pitch around 8:07. And then, as I'm watching the pregame here, it says at like 7:55, 27 minutes till first pitch. And I'm like, okay, so I guess they're doing some extravagant pregame intro. They did that. First pitch was, around 8:15-ish? Does MLB.com have it officially here? Yeah, probably even later than that. First pitch was 8:21, and now 40 minutes later, a little bit over that, we're already a third of the way through the game, about to start the fourth, just like that. So yeah, we are flying along here with tonight's ball game. 4-5-6 due up for Venezuela, and McLean back out there to work, and he fires a first pitch strike in there to Eugenio Suarez. Never really got, if his, if I'm pronouncing his first name correctly. I've heard Eugenio. I'm not, the true, can't pronounce name American where I just say, oh, Eugenio Suarez is up here. 1-1 here to Suarez. Swung through it. 1-2. Going to be fun rooting against Suarez, not just for this game, but throughout the upcoming Pittsburgh Pirates season after the, never-ending refreshing of social media, waiting to see the Pirates sign a guy like Suarez. He ends up going back to the Reds on a one-year deal. The Bucks had the exact same offer. Trying to think back to it, the Pirates had the exact same offer on the table for Suarez and were willing to go higher, but Suarez ended up going back to Great American Small Park. Held up on that swing. I don't know. First base umpire did not say Suarez went on that check swing. I thought he did, but count now full. 3-2. Gleyber Torres awaits on deck. McLean got to execute here. Do not want to give the Venezuelan fans anything to cheer about. That pitch foul off the leg of Suarez. He's going to walk that one off a tiny bit. Count remains full. McLean going to throw his 44th pitch of the night here coming up. Be good here if you're the United States, if he's able to execute a little bit, maybe work into a little bit of the sixth inning, because the United States bullpen, you've got either guys that have pitched, more specifically pitched in the Dominican Republic game, or you got guys that were added to the roster midway through the tournament. Guys like Tarek Skubal, Michael Wacha, Clayton Kershaw, Yarbrough, those guys taking off. You brought in a few replacement bullpen arms, but don't think necessarily here in the World Baseball Classic final you want to depend on guys who couldn't make your initial roster. Grounder right there, routine to Terang at second. Throw on to first for the first out. Looks like that is Logan Webb there in the dugout. He's talking with Paul Skeens, and Webb having a baseball, maybe showing Paul Skeens a little bit of what he likes to do on the mound. That's the great part about, these best on best tournaments. You get some of the best players in the game all together in one spot. They're able to learn off each other. I think Logan Webb, tiny bit more big league experience than Paul Skeens, but he's still pretty young in his big league career. And Skeens right now, he is absolutely dialed in on whatever Webb is seeing him. Do not be shocked if Paul Skeens ends up implementing in some way what Logan Webb is showing him there. Skeens pitching against the Dominican the other night. 4 1/3 innings pitched on his 70 to 75 pitch limit. Ended up giving 6 hits to the Dominican Republic, but only allowing 1 run to the DR. That was a solo homer for Junior Caminero. Struck out 2 in the game. Like I said in the intro to tonight's match, there was nothing, fantastic from Skeens in terms of his pitching arsenal, as Gleyber Torres there is going to watch Nolan McLean get a call down on strikes looking. I think McLean now twice has exploited that call. He is getting just outside the bottom outside corner to the strike zone. He gets Torres looking there. I believe that's his 4th or 5th strikeout of the evening. This will be McLean's 50th pitch of the ball game. That First pitch to Tovar inside for ball one. Back to Skeens. Like I said, didn't have his lights out stuff against the Dominican. I wasn't necessarily expecting it from him. It's still, spring training time in terms of the calendar for all these players, but Skeens holding that lineup to 1 run. Very impressive stuff, and impressive stuff right there from Nolan McLean. He gets a very not all that hard hit pop-up into foul territory. Harper squeezes it for out number 3. The United States. Time to wake up, boys. I don't have, a clock in here with me, but we got to be tapping it. Get the alarm clock going here. 2, 3, 4. Do up Harper, Judge, and Schwarber. One of those guys have got to get out of whatever slump they are in right now. Can't have them asleep for too much longer here. Need to get something going offensively here, I feel, against Venezuela in the bottom of the 4th. 13 of you in here right now, getting some awesome viewership here tonight for the WBC final. Hopefully I am doing an adequate job for you fine folks, relaying what is happening to you, adding some color commentary in the middle. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, leave a like, share this live stream, and in the comments section, any thoughts, questions, opinions, reactions you have to tonight's ball game, get those in there. Another regular viewer here on the Steel City Sports Report popping in. THP, what is going on? LFG just got off of work. Glad that you're fresh from punching out there, THP, and now you're joining us here tonight for the final, USA versus Venezuela. Not missing much, THP. It has been a much better start for Nolan McLean, top prospect, pitcher for the Mets. Much better start for him compared to how he looked in that Italy game. But the bats still very, very quiet for the United States. And Venezuela right now, they're at a nice simmer, but that offense could boil over at any time and could, explode here against the United States. And back to the action. We now go. Got to get something going here. 2, 3, 4 in the lineup for the United States. It'll start with Harper here. Excuse me. So used to saying Schwarber before Harper because Kyle Schwarber, the leadoff man for the Phillies, batting ahead of his Phillies teammate Harper. Harper here, 0 for 1 tonight. Had a fly ball for an out back in the first, and that cutter there from Rodriguez to begin the at-bat is swung on and missed. Harper here waiting for something of note to come from him here in the WBC. That pitch inside for ball 1. At least, in the slumps of guys like Judge and Schwarber, they at least have hit one out of the ballpark. Harper here grounds this to the second baseman. Throw on to Arias at first. Out number 1. Nothing doing for Bryce Harper right now. It is an absolute shame. Judge now stepping in. Captain for the United States. Needs to show captain qualities right now and lead by example here, maybe with a home run. First pitch to Judge. Down low, changeup misses for ball 1. Struck out back in the first inning. Judge here nearly hit one out against the Dominican. Fouls this one back to the screen. Hit it 399 feet out to center field, where it is 400. And Judge had it brought back, stolen at the wall by Julio Rodriguez. Hopefully he did a few extra iron pumps in the gym, a couple extra push-ups before this at-bat. 1-1 to him, and he is going to hit this one off the bat. It's going to be popped into foul territory, and Arias is going to run out of room. Looks like it might have hit the top of the protective netting, so wouldn't have been counted as an out had he caught it off the ricochet. 1-2 now for Judge. At the very least here, I'd like to see the United States work a tiny bit better in these counts. This will be the 42nd pitch for Eduardo Rodriguez of this game. The United States, they can get that pitch count from Rodriguez up. That'd be really nice. 1-2 to Judge, and down on strikes. An absolutely horrendous looking check swing right there from your number 3 hitter in the lineup. Judge, an ugly strikeout, and the United States still unable to get anything productive from the top of their lineup. Last chance to change that in this half inning for Kyle Schwarber, who steps in now. 0 for 1. Curveball misses for ball 1. At least Schwarber, more than Judge and Harper, has been putting the ball in play. Looking for maybe one that is in play but goes over the wall here. Cutter misses outside from Rodriguez. Count now at 1-1. Rodriguez trying to represent his country quite well. He's doing a fantastic job to this point. Bad news for the United States. 2-0 from Rodriguez. Misses. Counts now to 3-0. I mean, Schwarber, not the fastest guy in the world, but right now you just take a base runner any way you can get it for the United States. Rodriguez here. Does he throw one in the zone to Schwarber? He does not. Worked around him. All off-speed stuff there, too. Another cutter that missed well outside, so Schwarber is on here with 2 away. Back here to the comments section. THP. Justin Barger in here as well. Welcome, Justin. New viewer here. Gunnar Henderson should be starting. Agreed. I mean, forget the, matchup here, righty versus lefty. Pregame hasn't really done a damn thing all tournament long. Henderson, I think he, leads the team in OPS, not a big deal for the United States. DeRosa for being, an analyst and all for MLB Network. He should realize, hey, this dude's been a machine up at the plate for us. Maybe we start him regardless of the pitching matchup. But no, we're going to give Pregame here the 18th opportunity in this must-win game here. Does DeRosa know, first off, that this isn't like a best-of-3 series or something? Because we got to make sure that is known by him as well. There's a pitch there, 1-1 from Rodriguez. Nearly got Pregame on the elbow. Count now at 2-1. Pregame here. Schwarber taking his short lead from first. Can't get too far away from the bag if you're him. 2-1 from Rodriguez. Pregame, foul. Cutter. Up and in the strike zone. Hits it right back to the screen behind home plate. And now the Venezuelan crowd again doing this chant that when the batter gets the 2 strike, they do this chant. Not sure what it is they're saying. 2-2, but Rodriguez trying to take the easy way out. Pickoff move to Schwarber. He's back in standing. Let's try this again. 2-2. Rodriguez to the stretch. And the pitch to Pregame. Ground ball. Shortstop Tovar. Underhand flip to Torres. And down goes the United States again. Only to get just a single base runner up. But then they immediately strand him. This is good stuff. Good stuff. And now we are on to the top of the 5th. I have no idea why a 3 was there. I thought I typed in 4. Top of the 5th. Coming up here. And nothing. Not a single blip on the heart monitor for this United States offense. Justin Barger in here again. Thank you. And DeRosa, that guy shouldn't be managing the team in my opinion, but I hope they win. You're preaching to the choir. There, Justin. That exact comment, every single fan in person around the world right now repping a Team USA baseball jersey. they're all saying the same thing. I mean, you look at just around the tournament, legendary managers in their various leagues in, South America or Asia for other teams, former legendary big league players. Francisco Cervelli managing Italy, Yadier Molina for Puerto Rico. You've got legends of the game or top managers in their respective leagues managing these other teams. But what does the United States do with, legends all around, legendary managers? Instead, let's go get the stat guy from MLB Network, and let's put him with no other major league experience other than the 2023 World Baseball Classic, where he lost to Japan. Looks like he's about to repeat history, but this time it's Venezuela. Knock on wood that changes. But let's go and not, give a call up to a legendary manager that's, retired. Because, to be quite honest, I understand you're not going to pull a manager from a current big league club with spring training ongoing, but you're telling me you couldn't have called up, like, I know this guy probably would have been tough to get, but you couldn't call up like a Jim Leland, for example, to come and coach this United States baseball team, or someone like him, another big league manager that, is fresh out of the job, or, is just a few years removed from baseball, something like that. Instead, we got stats guy DeRosa, who, to be quite honest, for most of this tournament with his lineup decisions, and also not knowing that the United States didn't clinch the, Pool C, and there's a fly ball out to center field, and Wilyer Abreu takes McLean deep to center field. 2-0, Venezuela. And the dugout for Venezuela empties. And I told you, Wilyer Abreu, watch out for him. He's got a knack to hit big home runs. Hit a big one against Japan, and that one right there, with no exaggeration, that one there might be the bank buster against the United States and their inexistent offense right now. It's a leadoff home run for Venezuela here in the fifth. 2-0. Salvi Perez sees that pitch nearly hit him for ball one. The 1-0 in there for a strike call, 1-1. But back to DeRosa. He couldn't have gone out there and gotten a legendary manager of the game. You're not going to get a current manager, but you couldn't get a Jim Leland type guy, or DHP, good pull right here, or Bruce Bochy, something like that. Would rather take any of those guys rather than a dude who literally has no managerial experience other than this exact same tournament that he lost 3 years ago. They need to wake up. Indeed. There's the reaction to the home run from Abreu. Will Smith could be that guy. It's okay, U.S. Just needs to get on the board. It's coming. I'm hoping Will Smith, gets that World Series high stakes game experience and puts it on display. But, I mean, just Rodriguez right now, he's dealing on the mound for Venezuela against this offense. And even, let's say, as Perez is going to sky this one into straightaway center for out number one, caught by Buxton. I mean, even let's say the United States offense does get to Rodriguez a little bit. Do we really trust DeRosa to make the right moves? Is he going to pinch hit Bregman for Henderson? Is he going to, get Pete Crow Armstrong in the game somehow, some way? Crow Armstrong, he's been used a little bit sparingly, but has produced solidly when he's in there. I don't. No high-stakes game situational awareness or experience for DeRosa. Why? Because he's never had it before. His, managerial experience count is at, trying to think here, 12 games, for being honest? All the way to the finals in 2023, all the way to the finals this year. 14 games. You got the 4 pool games and then the 3 games it takes to, compete for the championship. So this is game number 14 of managerial experience for Mark DeRosa. And you best believe he is going to get flamed should the United States fall here tonight. Might get flamed regardless. Pop out here for Jackson Cheerio. That was Bryce Terang going fairly deep out to center field to make that catch. And the man of the hour, Mark DeRosa, he is going to walk out to the mound right here, and that is going to be all for Nolan McLean here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, he will exit having thrown 63 pitches, 2 runs given up. And, after seeing the start he had against Italy in this Venezuelan squad, not as, intimidating on paper as, the Dominican team, but still, it is a very dangerous lineup. Him only giving up 2 runs, I'll take it as, an adequate job done here tonight for McLean. He heads to the showers. Team USA going to be bringing on their first relief pitcher of the night, and it's going to be Brad Keller, the reliever for the Chicago Cubs. I don't think he has necessarily been the most lights-out reliever for the United States here in this WBC, so excited to see which version of Keller we're going to get. We getting Jekyll or Hyde? That's going to be not so fun to find out here. THP here, PCA has been one of the best hitters on Team USA, needs to be in, and Gunnar Henderson. Yeah, both of them. But nope, for the sake of righty on lefty matchups here, we're going to put in Pregame, who has 1 hit, 2 at most here in the tournament, and Byron Buxton, who's got a golf swing right now where he can't make contact. Let's put those 2 guys in over, quite possibly with this struggling offense, the 2 hottest hitters in your lineup. Because that makes sense. It's stuff like that, you bring in another manager, a dude who actually knows how to manage baseball games. He might just say, screw the righty on lefty matchup, screw the analytics. The way this offense is going, we're going to put in the guys who are hitting right now. But nope, not in DeRosa's book. Look there in the dugout, McLean getting high fives. Be really nice if, Tarek Skubal, and I know, I want to preface this by saying I understand dude's in a contract year, and he's got a long season ahead of him and stuff like that, but be really nice if Tarek Skubal, had some cojones, to put it lightly, and would pitch more than just 1 game and 55 pitches for the United States. I mean, Tarek Skubal pitching in this game be much, much different than Nolan McLean. Brad Keller, first pitch swinging for Ronald Acuna Jr., and great pick on the other end there. Acuna, Brad Keller comes in, only throws 1 pitch. Acuna, hard grounder up the middle. Bobby Witt cuts it off, and a throw a little bit wide to Harper at first base, but Harper picks it on the backhand short hop. Great play by him. The United States going back to work with the bats. We are halfway through the game here this evening, going to the bottom of the 5th. Going to take crazy now that we're an hour and 15 in. The first break here of the night. Back here in a moment. The back half of USA Venezuela coming up with the Venezuelans on top, 2-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, already to the bottom of the 5th inning here in the World Baseball Classic 2026 championship game. This game has been flying along. It might not necessarily be the best news in the world right now for the United States. Roman Anthony is going to step in here for his second at-bat of the night. He right now in this United States lineup that has been completely DOA in terms of production. He might be the only guy to give this team a revival right now. He's been swinging a hot bat lately. Takes that first pitch in there for strike one. Eduardo Rodriguez begins his 5th inning of work, 52 pitches, so he has been very efficient out there on the bump. That pitch high to Anthony for ball one. Only allowing 1 hit so far tonight is Rodriguez. Has a handful of strikeouts as well. Been dialed in, I should say. That 4-seamer misses outside, 2-1. Looks like Rodriguez is getting close to reaching his pitch limit here tonight because there is action in the Venezuelan bullpen. It is going to be Eduard Bazardo who is up and moving, so a right-hander could be coming in for the left-hander here in a few moments. That pitch just missed to Roman Anthony. It's now 2-2 on Anthony, batting 6th here tonight. Rodriguez, the pitch down and out for ball number 3. Count is now full, and wouldn't this be kind of nice for the United States if they were somehow to get a rare leadoff runner on base here? Let's see if Anthony can do it. 3-2 from Rodriguez. Anthony, grounder. Second baseman Torres on to Arias, beats Anthony for out number 1. So no leadoff runner. Outstanding. And now Will Smith is going to come up to bat here. To the comment section we go here. Henry Pratt in here. Welcome, Henry. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. USA going to come back tonight and win 3-2. That is Henry's prediction. Henry, you are braver and bolder than most in that prediction, and maybe that's something. I'm not sure what the odds are right now on betting sites. I myself am not a gambling man, but I assume USA comeback odds, if baseball people are running those sites, may not be the most favorable odds of a comeback right now, but hey, you can make some cash on it if you're right. Eduardo Rodriguez is now exiting the ball game, so I guess his pitch limit was somewhere in the somewhere around 50. So Rodriguez done for the night after 4 1/3 innings of work, and Eduardo gonna get replaced by Eduard. Rodriguez out, Bazardo coming in for Venezuela. Eduard Bazardo, is he still with the Marlins? Or no, didn't he go to... Wait, am I getting him confused with Brazoban from the other night? Eduard Bazardo with the Mariners. My apologies. Last year, Bazardo here, looking at his baseball reference page. Last year, 2025, was 5-0. Appeared in 73 games, pitched in almost 79 complete innings, had a ERA of 2.52. So looking to continue to build on that success he had in 2025 here in this World Baseball Classic, and in 2026 appeared in 2 spring training games for the Mariners before heading off to the WBC. Allowed just 1 hit in 1 1/3 innings pitched. Had 1 strikeout and 1 hit by pitch guy too. At this point here, right now, the way the United States offense is looking, somebody may need to just wear it to get a base runner on for the United States. You need to get runners on any way you can right now before this lead for Venezuela gets too out of hand. CTHP here in the comment section. Brady, Waddle trade to the Broncos. Like it or overpaid or don't here. I did see that comment. I apologize. Well, now I'll get back to it here. I'll get back to it here after this half inning THP, I promise. I gotta admit, overpaid. Omar Khan, he looks like a genius for getting Pittman for a late round pick swap, and Waddle a 1, a 3, and a 4 going to Miami. Good news is Steelers didn't overpay for Waddle like Denver did. Bad news is Miami now with, I mean, can you name one wide receiver in their room besides Jalen Tolbert, who they just signed? They might be, in the Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson market. Bizzardo up now 1-2 on the seventh man in the United States lineup, catcher Will Smith. Venezuela, how about this? 14 innings, no runs allowed. Trying to work on maybe more consecutive innings without giving up a run here in the WBC. That pitch misses up high. 2-2 to Will Smith. Come on, Schmitty. Got to do something here. Break up the monotony of just seeing the constant conga line back to the dugout for United States hitter. He fouls that 2-2 off. It's now going to be Bizzardo's sixth pitch here to Smith coming up. Come on, Smith. Bizzardo, the wind, the pitch, and that one, breaking ball, drops in there on the corner. It is going to be strike 3. Not good. Not good whatsoever. Now Bryce Terang comes up. I guess maybe a 2 or 3 hopper to Gleyber Torres. Swings and misses at that first one. Sinker, top of the zone for strike 1. 1-1 with a single for Terang. Snuck one past Arias on the right side of the infield a few innings ago. Bizzardo's second pitch of the at-bat misses outside for ball 1. Terang here, one of a few teammate matchups here in this game. As he's looking at Bizzardo, he throws that one in there for a strike. As Terang is looking at Bizzardo on the mound, takes a little bit of a peek past Bizzardo, and he'll see his Milwaukee Brewers teammate, Jackson Chourio, out there. 1-2 to Terang, and he just fouls that one away. Count remains at 1-2. Byron Buxton on deck. The way Buxton's been swinging it, you get him up. At the very least, you get, at most, I should say, you get Bizzardo to throw a little bit more. Terang, I think, took his time out there a moment ago. Back in there on the 1-2. Bizzardo gets the pitch calm talk. The pitch, that one down and away on the sweeper. Mislocated it. Count runs even here, 2-2. Bizzardo, excuse me. Again, looks like Perez saying, get it on the outside here. Terang, wouldn't you know it? Like I just called it. That one might have been more than, 3 hops, but a grounder right to Gleyber Torres on the first for the final out. It's like I saw that one coming there. So, to the top of the 6th here. Awesome offensive prowess from this United States lineup. That was probably second best in terms of star power in this tournament behind the Dominican Republic. But right now, you might be able to put a team like Australia or Brazil up against this United States offense and nothing would come from it. And everything pretty much summed up our feelings right there. What are we doing with about a dozen question marks? That's about how it's going right now. 11 of you in here. Welcome to the live stream. On your way in, please subscribe to the channel. It's the least you can do for the misery that is watching this United States offense right now. It'll pick up the mood a little bit more. Also, leave a like. Share this live stream. Leave a comment in the comments section. Your thoughts on this opinion. Are you upset? Are you just happy? I guess that's a silver lining we can take away from this as Pirates fans for the WBC. Looks like all Pittsburgh Pirates representatives in the World Baseball Classic are going to make it back to Bradenton, Florida in one piece. I mean, can't say that definitively with these best-on-best tournaments because Pittsburgh Penguins, the local hockey team we cover here, they unfortunately did not have all of their guys make it back from the Olympics in one piece. Sidney Crosby still out for the Pens, though he is apparently getting closer to a return. Seeing a video here, love it, from Talking Baseball. It's that old video from one of those mega churches where the pastor's up on stage and he is just on hands on his knees yelling, "Wake up, wake up, wake up," and it's at U.S. hitters in the caption. That's everybody right now. Wake up. Back to action here. Brad Keller still in there for the United States, only threw 2 pitches. So my apologies. Only threw 2 pitches in that one batter he faced last half inning. Back to work now. His 3rd pitch of the night in there for strike 1 on Michael Garcia. It's going to be a pretty tough task here for Keller. He's going through the heart of this lineup right now. 2, 3, and 4. And Garcia, little bit of a hop out of the batter's box there as that one is skied out to center field and caught by Buxton. Garcia, tiny bit upset with himself. Feels like he missed it a little bit there. Could have given that ball more of a ride. Venezuelan bullpen is active once more, and if it wasn't, still spring training time, this could be a guy that could be an inning eater for Venezuela. Jose Buto, I think he's still with the Mets. Correct me if I'm wrong. He is up and warming in the bullpen. Has long relief role capabilities. Luis Arias back in there. 0 for 2 tonight, but still a guy I am not going to flirt with as the multiple-time batting champion. And this one here, U.S. going to get lucky with Arias again off the end of the bat and back to work again. Byron Buxton making another catch here. So 2 flyouts to the center fielder for the United States, who will lead off the next inning for this U.S. offense. But got one more batter to go through here. Eugenio Suarez digs back in for Venezuela. Pitch from Keller. Swing foul from Suarez. Count goes to 0-1. Top of the 6th here. Got to change that. Venezuela up 2-0, but feels like it is a 20-0 lead right now, the way the United States offense is going. That pitch there fouled off to Alex Bregman. He then throws that ball out of play. 0-2 from Keller in there. Right on the money. Top corner of the strike zone for the backwards K. So efficient work again from Brad Keller. I don't think he threw, in the 4 batters he faced, he might have thrown at most 10 pitches there. So I'm sure the Chicago Cubs very happy to see that performance from him. Hopefully we as fans are going to get something, anything to get excited about for this United States offense. 9-1-2, Buxton, Witt, and Harper do up for the United States. Probably Bobby Witt, the guy that's, going to come close to doing anything among those 3 here tonight. Back here in a moment, 15 of you in here on the Steel City Sports Report. More live reactions of Team USA Venezuela in the WBC final coming up here in a moment. Stay where you are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is getting dark pretty early right now for the United States offense. It's the bottom of the sixth, so there's still a good bit of baseball left to play. But right now, the way things are going for this United States offense, it feels like it's the bottom of the ninth already, and you need about, 16 runs to tie up this ball game. And Jose Buto is on here for Venezuela. Third pitcher tonight for the Venezuelans out of the bullpen, and looks like Mark DeRosa, like he's the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz, does prove that he has a brain, because Pete Crow Armstrong, ladies and gentlemen, he is pinch hitting right here for Byron Buxton to begin the sixth, or at the bottom of the sixth. Crow Armstrong, has he been lighting the world on fire? That's, in the eye of the beholder. You be the judge of that, but has he been light years better than one Byron Buxton, who now gets to watch this game from the bench the rest of the way? Absolutely. 1-1 on PCA. I also assume he's going to go into center after this. And this pitch here for PCA wants to smash his bat into the dirt, as it is a very high pop fly to Willie Abreu in left field for the first out. And now here comes the top of the order, and Bobby Witt Jr. comes up to bat. THP in here. LFG Bobby wants to see one of his favorite players get something going here. How about a gap? I know it's very wishful and bold thinking on my part, but how about a gap shot here from Bobby Witt? Get a runner in scoring position. Maybe that's something that gives, the pads of life here to this United States offense. Up in the bullpen for the U.S., by the way, one of those guys who was just added to the roster for the elimination rounds of the WBC. It is Detroit Tigers reliever Will Vest, the right-hander, up and moving in the United States bullpen. So Brad Keller's night will be coming to a close. 1-1 here from Buto to Bobby Witt Jr. The windup and the delivery. Witt here pops this one up. It is going to stay in the park, maybe foul territory, and Arias makes the grab there for out number 2. And that right there is going to get gift and recorded to hell and back. That pop out there from Bobby Witt, they immediately cut to Mark DeRosa in the dugout, and DeRosa's like this, doing one of these, playing with his eye. Yeah, that's going to get mocked to hell and back. Don't you worry, that's going to be all over Twitter. Bryce Harper, over 2 tonight. Really not all that competitive in his at-bats. Par for the course in most of this WBC for him. Pop out, ground out for Harper. The 1-0 here from Buto. That one skips on home plate and is stopped there by Perez. Ball 2. DeRosa looking on. Fans there for the United States. Not much to be excited for so far tonight. It's, 1 in a million chance. Maybe Harper changes that here with one swing. 2-0. Hitters count here. Buto delivers. And down low, 3-0 now. So Buto not all that close with his pitches to this point in this at-bat. We'll see if he gives Harper anything to swing at here. Aaron Judge on deck. Harper awaits. Buto's 3-0 in there for strike 1. Harper saw it. Hopefully he's got his timing down. Now it's time to go here. If you're Bryce, Buto, the 3-1 delivery, and Harper rips this one, and it is going to be fair down the right field line. Acuna over to cut it off, but it is a base hit for Bryce Harper here with 2 outs. And it brings up Aaron Judge as the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th. Much needed sign of life from this offense here. Harper making solid contact here. And now Judge 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts tonight. Can he change his fortunes? Pitch here from Buto. Down low, slider in the dirt for ball 1. Well, there's a shot. Talk about Pittsburgh representation here on Team USA. Another Pittsburgh native in the crowd there looking on. Pat McAfee of the Pat McAfee Show in the crowd tonight. Tons of Yinzerness in the crowd. I'm sure McAfee's there with a good bit of his crew. You got David Bednar and Mason Miller from Pittsburgh. Paul Skeens representing the Pirates. Sports runs through Pittsburgh, and not many people are talking about it. We have a bit of a break here. 2-0 on Judge right now. Another pitch from Buto, not all that close. And Salvador Perez, the catcher, calling an infield meeting at the pitcher's mound right here. He is talking to Jose Buto, trying to get him to dial in again here. 13 pitches from Buto. This will be his 14th coming up here to Judge. A Met versus a Yankee, a Subway Series rivalry right here in this AB. Buto, after that meeting, back to work. The pitch to Judge on the 2-0, and Judge, that slider, 88 miles an hour, center cut. Count goes to 2-1. There's a look at a pair of fans there with Team USA hockey jerseys. We have a pair of those in this room right now, right there and there. 2-1 to Aaron Judge. That ball down and away. 3-1 now to the captain of this Team USA. Schwarber on deck awaits. 0-1 for him here tonight with a walk. 3-1 to Judge. Perez behind the plate, sets up outside the pitch, and it's a sinker. 96, middle, and Judge does not bite. Count now full, 3-2. It would be grounds of a profanity rant here if Judge were to watch two pitches pretty much down the middle for strikes in this at-bat, and then he swings at something garbage right here. Please prove me wrong. 3-2 pitch. Judge, grounder, third base. Garcia up, strong throw across the diamond. And anything that the United States had there, gone again. Judge runs the count full, but it is a grounder to the third baseman Garcia, and down goes the United States again offensively. Now 2/3 of the way through the game, and we are on to the 7th in Miami. 2026 World Baseball Classic Championship game. To the comment section here, single and a steal. I don't care, says THP. And then there we go, Harp. All excited, my dude, come on. And then that happens. Also, THP, hate Pat, not a baseball guy. I mean, don't be hating on Pat too much. I'm a Pat McAfee guy. Is baseball, far from his realm of expertise? Yes. I mean, mainly a football guy, but at least he's out there, representing the U.S. Probably the most charismatic, aside from Stephen A. Smith, media personality, sports media personality in the world right now, McAfee. And he's a Pittsburgh guy, Western Pennsylvania guy. Grew up in Plum, Pennsylvania, so he's going to tug at the heartstrings here. Went to saw his he hasn't done anything like it since then. Went to see his big night out in Pittsburgh last year, or 2 years ago it might have been, and that was a fun night. Hasn't done anything since. There's a video on this channel right now of that Pat McAfee big night out. Might need to go search for it a little bit, but was electric. There's a video on that night. Very, very fun. Me and SESR Dad taking in onto the 7th inning now. Not going to lie, I love Pat, but said the other day he doesn't know what he seems. Yeah, I mean, is he going to, say some stuff that he doesn't know sometimes? Yeah, but I think that's, part of the gig there. Part of his character here. A dude who's, all about fun 24/7, gives sports takes. Some of them are wild, some of them uneducated, but that's just McAfee for you. Baseball game to my right coming back from commercial break. That was a slightly longer commercial than usual. And now Will Vest in the ball game for the United States. And his first pitch is going to be in there for strike one. Vest in the ball game now. Indeed, Pete Crow Armstrong did remain in the game and is taking over for Buxton out in center. So a straight up swap right there. Vest pitch there to Gleyber Torres. Pretty good slider right there. Swung on and missed. 0-2 now. Vest, last year at the Tigers, made an appearance in 64 games, had a 3.01 ERA and a little over 64 innings pitched, I believe. That slider missed quite well right there, so now it's 1-2. Torres pulling in Aaron Judge so far tonight, 0-2 with 2 Ks. The 1-2 here. Tiger to Tiger, and there goes Gleyber Torres down. Strike 3. Back to the slider again. Vest, great stuff there. One gone here, top of the 7th, and boy, I mean, you talk about fooling a guy right there with the slider. Those are the type of swings right there, and there's been a handful of them tonight. You know when you play MLB The Show and you get a pitch that is, so disgustingly not close to the strike zone, but you swing at it anyways, and your guy just like lunges his whole body at it. That was pretty much what that swing was there from Torres. Ezequiel Tovar, number 6 in the lineup tonight for Venezuela at shortstop. 1-2 with a single. 1-1 the count to him. Here's the pitch from Vest. He delivers home. Tovar swings, and this one's going to be hit out to left field. Tovar's going to put on the brakes at first base. That ball was kind of hit into the gap, but Roman Anthony sped over to cut it off. Tovar, now 2 hits for him here tonight, and that will bring up, I believe that is, who's up after him again? That will bring up Wilyer Abreu, who hit the home run right behind him. So Tovar's on here, and Abreu with the home run. I think if he hits another home run here, Abreu, that might be grounds for calling it a night extra early here, the way this offense is going for the United States. First pitch to Abreu outside, 1-0. Could totally see Vest here working around Abreu. Maybe get Salvador Perez up there. This 1-0 from Vest misses down low. Ball 2, 2-0 now. Gerardo Parra, former big leaguer, first base coach for Venezuela, talking in the ear of Tovar at first. Abreu steps back in. Vest comes set. Pickoff move to first. No tag attempt there from Harper. Tovar back in on a short slide. Venezuelan fans rowdy as ever there in Miami. I think it was Venezuela when they beat Italy last night. It was midnight, and it was pouring down rain in Miami, yet they were still out there partying, playing instruments, celebrating and all that. So these Venezuelans, they know how to get after it, and Miami might have itself a wild night if Venezuela is able to hold on to this win here. 2-1 to Abreu, fouled off to the left and out of play. Count now even 2-2. Vest here with 1 out and 1 on. 2-2 count to Abreu. His 12th pitch of his outing coming up here. You have Wilson Contreras right there. First baseman, formerly of the St. Louis Cardinals, now at the Boston Red Sox. He is up on the top railing, his foot on the railing. 1-2 here. Vest delivers to Abreu. Pitch is going to be a half-hearted check swing, and throw on to first is going to get Abreu. That was a check swing that he put in play. Tovar, I think he got a good secondary lead. He was able to get to second before Bregman had the thought of going and trying to turn a double play. So it's now 2 gone with a runner on second. And yeah, it might have been a tough play there for Bregman to get the ball to second base in time. So he ended up just going to first and getting a sure out. Runner in scoring position now with 2 gone. And here is Salvador Perez, the captain for Venezuela. And that pitch was hit hard down the left field line. There was a diving attempt from Pregame, but they are going to say it was just foul. That certainly is another run across the board for Venezuela if it is fair. But it is foul. Lucky break for the United States, and it's simply just a long strike 1 on Salvi Perez. A single back in the 3rd inning. Came across to score. Looking for a similar at-bat outcome right here, though he swings at that breaking ball down and out for strike 2. Perez adjusts his batting gloves, is going to lean back in now. You now have 2 Venezuelan players with their standing on the benches. They're in the dugout with their top foot on the railing. Perez here is going to golf this one out to short right field. Judge racing in, makes the catch on the fly. That one, maybe if it's hit just a tad bit less hard, that drops in there, and that's a run for Venezuela, but Judge catches up to it. And we're now off to the bottom of the 7th inning. 4, 5, 6 do it for the United States in the form of Schwarber, Pregame. Maybe if they, well, no, never mind. They had a lefty up in the bullpen. That was Angel Zerpa. He's a left-hander, so I was going to say maybe you get Gunnar Henderson in there to face a new relief pitcher. Was hoping it was a righty, but nope. It'll be Zerpa coming on to face Schwarber, Pregame, and Roman Anthony. So 2 lefties with a righty sandwiched in between them. To the comment section we go here. THP, what do you think we can do, man? We're playing scared and lose, it seems. I don't think it's necessarily playing scared. I think it's maybe guys looking a little bit ahead to the upcoming big league season. And also, does Mark DeRosa seem like the type of guy who's gonna, drag the guys into the fight as the manager, rally the troops, give them a talking to? No. Dude's gonna go back to his desk job at MLB Network after this. You probably won't hear from him again. And I'll be damned if I hear Mark DeRosa spew on MLB Network a criticism or slight at any sort of managerial decision across the MLB this year for some of the absolute gems he's made here in this tournament. SESR dad here. Seems like they are just going through the motions. No urgency, no fire in their eyes. That is probably the best description of them all right there. Just going through the motions. It's like the one dude in The Water Boy where he's going over the tape. And here's the part where we swung and missed. And then here's the lazy fly ball we had. Oh, we walked here, but, hey, that's good. But then we struck out right after that without advancing the runner to second. There hasn't been a single runner at second. Not one guy has gotten into scoring position today for the United States. For the so-called second-best lineup in this entire tournament behind the Dominican Republic, not a single guy has gotten to second base. And if they end this game losing, and they did not get a guy to second at all tonight, that will be 10 times more disgraceful than however many runners on base, runners in scoring position, the Dominican Republic left on 2 nights ago. Back to work now here, bottom of the 7th. Got to change the score bug here. Kyle Schwarber steps in, sees that first pitch. Go in there for a strike, 0-1. It indeed is Angel Zerpa. I believe, is he still with the Royals? I don't know. If he is, then he's just, a long list of KC Royals to be represented prominently in this World Baseball Classic. Zerpa, 1-1 now on Schwarber. There was also a defensive substitution made by Venezuela, getting a better glove out there on the field. And there's a strike on Schwarber, and that pitch a tad bit outside. So much so, Schwarber had to step out of the box, maybe give a bit of a word to the home plate umpire. That was a call there for Venezuela. The defensive substitution I'll get to here after the Schwarber at bat. And Schwarber sees that pitch pretty much in the same spot. That pitch there pretty much in the same spot. Maybe a shade more outside. Schwarber watches both of them. One's a strike, one's a ball. So now the count even at 2-2. Zerpa, the left-hander, to the lefty Schwarber, and he swings and misses. 98-mile-an-hour sinker. Schwarber gone. Out number one here in the bottom of the seventh, and here comes Alex Bregman up to bat. The defensive substitution, by the way, made by Venezuela. Gleyber Torres, who went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts tonight. That is plenty of grounds for him to get yanked, but another part of him getting taken out of the game, a better defensive player into the ball game now. It is Andrés Jiménez from the Toronto Blue Jays. I think he's a Gold Glove Award winner. He is now in at second base. 1-0 on Bregman. The delivery here from Zerpa right there, upper corner of the strike zone. 1-1 now on the newest Chicago Cub, Alex Bregman, acquired this offseason in free agency. The Cubs losing Kyle Tucker, but replacing him with Bregman. This pitch here, again, wow. Top of the zone there for Bregman. Doesn't get called. Right there on the chalk of the strike zone. 2-1 now. And after this 2-1 pitch, I saw something that makes me a little bit queasy. This pitch, slider, tried to backdoor it. It was well outside. I just saw, after that missed strike call on Bregman, Paul Goldschmidt is in the U.S. dugout, and he has batting gloves and a elbow protector on. So we could be seeing Paul Goldschmidt here. Grounder down the line, cut off by Garcia. Throw to first, gets Bregman. 2 gone here in the 7th. This is wild, says THP. This honestly is not as surprising as an outcome as, what was initially thought how this game would go here. We knew that the offense was going to need to wake up. Instead, they're just, still the carcass that Paul Skeens and the pitching staff dragged past Dominican Republic back on Sunday. Now here is the second lefty that Zerpa will face, the reason why he was brought in. Roman Anthony, 20-year-old for the Red Sox, 21-year-old. 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts here tonight. The 0-1 here from Zerpa. And Anthony, that pitch ran in and nearly got him, and that was certainly a cross-up or a bad miss in location between Zerpa and Perez, the catcher. Perez was set up on the outside. Zerpa ended up throwing that one very well in that. Perez tried to, throw his body back to catch it. 1-1. Zerpa to Anthony, and check swing. Anthony held up. It's called a ball. 2-1. There's a look at Cal Raleigh up on the railing with Aaron Judge. I mean, I know Raleigh's a switch hitter, and I think lefty's his more dominant side, but seeing Paul Goldschmidt up there in the dugout with batting equipment slowly coming on, I'd probably go with, the big dumper and, his slumps rather than throw out Goldschmidt there. At least that's my opinion. That last pitch missed. It's now 3-1 on Anthony. Zerpa, his 15th pitch of the inning, and delivers. That one misses inside. Anthony drops his bat, takes off his batting gear, and he'll take first base. Yet again, another 2-out man on base here for the United States. But can they do anything with it? We will have to wait and see. Omar Lopez is out of the dugout. Manager for Venezuela. Zerpa is going to be taken out of the ball game here, and a new pitcher will be coming on for Venezuela. Here, bottom of the 7th, 2 gone, runner on first. The United States still trailing by 2. Going to take a short little break here for the pitching change. We'll be back here in a few moments. Stay where you are. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The new pitcher on here for Venezuela. It is a reliever who has taken the WBC by storm. Andres Machado is on to pitch here. He has been nails out of the bullpen here for Venezuela, and he is on here to face Will Smith, the number 7 hitter, and it's quickly up 0-2 on Will Smith. He's going to just come in here and punch out this guy like that. I see how that's going here. That pitch actually hit Will Smith. Are you kidding me? That pitch skimmed the right thigh of Smith on the swing. 0-2. Does not get the hit by pitch granted to him. Machado here trying to make quick work of Smith to pitch. And he's going to get him. Smith pop up behind first base. Over. Jimenez makes the catch. And 3 pitches. Andres Machado out of the bullpen gets Will Smith. And on to the 8th, the United States still has not gotten a runner into scoring position tonight. If they did, then I'm forgetting it, and could you really blame me for being honest here? To the top of the 8th, and Machado there, like I just said, probably the best reliever to this point in the tournament for Venezuela. Only threw 3 pitches. He's going to go back out there for the 8th. Maybe pitch all of it, for being honest. So, on to the 8th here. Back here again. Going to take this another break here, because it's just not surprising, but indescribable, and no words for what's happening right now. So, back here in a minute. Stay where you are, a little bit over 2 hours into the live stream here tonight. Back in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. New pitcher coming on for the United States in this WBC championship game from hell so far for the red, white, and blue. Griffin Jax coming in to make another appearance here in the WBC. I believe this will be his 3rd or 4th game in the tournament. He's been fairly solid. He's going to need to do another excellent job out of the pen right here. Jackson Chourio, number 9 hitter in this Venezuela lineup, steps in here, 0 for 2 tonight. Chourio kind of serving as that second leadoff man for Venezuela, because right behind him is Ronald Acuna Jr. These two together, they can do damage with their bats and their speed on the base pass. 0-2 now on Chourio. However, Jack's a nasty breaking ball right there, gets Chourio to swing at it. Chourio's been having a tough time with those here tonight. Here's a look at Mark DeRosa. Wonder what sort of brain cells may be colliding in his head right now, if there is any. There's another breaking ball. Like I just said, Chourio cannot hit a breaking ball right now whatsoever. And the United States punches him out again. Speaking of punch-outs here, just scrolling through Twitter there during that last little break. Going back to the United States game against the Dominican Republic, in their last 52 registered at-bats, excluding walks, hit by pitches, all that, sacrifice flies, the United States They are 8 in their last 52 plate appearances with 21 strikeouts and only 2 runs to come from it. Completely and totally unacceptable, as there's a first pitch ground out to Bobby Witt for Ronald Acuna Jr. 2 away now. 8 for their last 52 actual at-bats with 21 strikeouts from this team. There's losing, and then there's being just downright god-awful. And that, it might even be beyond god-awful for the talent assembled on this roster. Michael Garcia, third baseman for Venezuela, has made a couple nice plays defensively tonight. Also, has been on base, I think, once. He's 0 for 2. 1-1 on him now with 2 away. Seems to be no action in the Venezuela bullpen right now, so indeed, Andres Machado will go out there after throwing just 3 pitches last half inning. Pop up here for Garcia back behind home plate. Will Smith near the fence, and he is going to make the grab, and that is going to retire the side. 1-2-3 inning for Griffin Jacks against the 9-1-2 hitters in the Venezuela lineup. Can't get any more efficient than that. Though the bullpen right now giving massive side eyes to the bats like, hey, we're holding up our end of the bargain here. Do your damn job. Running out of options here is the U.S. offense. 6 outs to work with, and they need to score at least 2 runs to tie up this ball game. Back here, actually not going to take a break right now as we head to the bottom of the 8th. We'll take a break next after this next half inning. One more break before the 9th, and then we'll take things home the rest of the way after that. To the comment section here, you guys reacting to that stat. 8 for 52. The Team USA offense with 21 strikeouts. Absolutely no excuse. DHP here. This lineup worried me from the jump because we had hot stars, but no glue, speed, etc. We'll say Bobby Witt at least is earning his money in the field. Harper trash, Cal trash, Breg trash. Harper trash, Cal Raleigh trash, Bregman trash. Judge with the bat, when he's not facing the Sisters of the Poor on the bump. Trash with the bat. His arm in the outfield at least does something. Let's just, at this point, go around the diamond here of the starters here today. Judge, really only worth it defensively now. Buxton, garbage. All, tournament long. But hey, let's give him another start here. A 5th chance at redemption in the must-win game of the series. Roman Anthony, nothing to complain about him. He can only carry this team so much. Same thing for Gunnar Henderson, who didn't start tonight. Bregman, trash. Bobby Witt, bat better than most, but, still not nearly as good. But in the field, definitely making his money. Terang, pretty much in the same boat as Bobby Witt. Harper, garbage. Raleigh, big dumper. So much for the most prestigious hitting catcher of all time. Hasn't done a damn thing. And then the pitching staff, they can only do so much. I'd agree. Energy sucks. Yeah, there's just no juice from them. So why should I, be Mr. Optimistic glass half full here? THP, I think you've been trying to be that guy, but this here pretty much when you give up, that tells me that they've given up here. Trying to not give up, but damn, yeah. 8-9-1 due up for the United States. Bryce Terang up the bat here again, 1 for 2. Had a single back in the 3rd inning. That feels like years ago right now for this United States offense. Machado back out to work. 0-1 to Terang. It's going to be fouled away, so quickly 0-2 on him now. There's Kyle Schwarber in the dugout. He just yelled something out at the field. Forgot him, going around the field. Where's his, power been? Mr. 5-year, $125 million deal with the Phillies. After seeing him in this WBC, thank God the Bucks avoided that bullet. Speaking of bullets, Machado just threw one of those right down Broadway, and Terang, maybe a foul tip, but he missed it for the strikeout. So now Pete Crow Armstrong coming in for Byron Buxton midway through this game. He's going to go and get his second AB tonight. There's the pitch from Machado. Pop up from PCA back into the crowd and out of play. Kerrang taking his stuff off in the dugout. Crow Armstrong 0-1 now. Machado just pounding the strike zone right now, attacking this United States lineup, and they are as wounded as they can get right now. They are like a crippled, sick gazelle out on the savannah right now. And this Venezuelan lineup, they are eating them alive like a lion. There's a routine chopper to the second baseman Jimenez. Toss the first. 2 outs quickly here. Just 8 pitches for Machado, and he's retired all 3 of the United States batters he's faced. Probably won't need more beyond 10 if he gets there, as Bobby Witt Jr. steps in here. Be a tide changer, Bobby. Be a momentum shifter here. Come on. 0 for 3 tonight, but have more faith in him with the bat than just about everybody else in the lineup, but not named Roman Anthony. Want to give respects to the 20-year-old. Think about how bad of a look that's going to be, too. Roman Anthony, a dude who you didn't bring on the initial roster, Mark DeRosa. He turns out to be your MVP hitter. Meanwhile, all these superstars, Judge, Harper, Schwarber, that they were like the first calls to make this team from the quarterfinals on. Might as well have been back at their spring training camps with their teams. Pitch just outside to Bobby Witt Jr. Count is now up to 3-0 on Witt. Maybe finally the United States can get a runner on base that brings a bit of, base stealing threat. Witt would certainly be that. 3-0 to Bobby from Machado, and down and away for ball 4. Tell me if you've heard this story before. It is a 2-out walk for the United States to put a runner on first, and one of their weakest hitters in the lineup comes up to bat. Now, granted, Harper has a single to his ledger here tonight, but beyond that, he doesn't have anything to hang on his fridge and be proud about. Yohan Santana out there to talk to Machado right now as the pitching coach, another former big leaguer. 2 outs. Runner on first. Double barrel action in the Venezuelan bullpen. Both a lefty and a righty are up and moving there. They did not pop up the names of who exactly is warming up out there. Just looking at the Venezuela's roster right here, you have to assume the righty would probably be Daniel Palencia, the closer for the Chicago Cubs, who throws gas. The lefty here, who'd their lefty be? Maybe Emmanuel De Jesus? Maybe a Christian Suarez, something like that. I don't know. Harper steps in. Ball there for Machado. 1-0 on Harper. 2 outs here. Witt at first. The pitch to Harper. Harper drives this one deep center field, and it is gone! Holy hell! Bryce Harper has tied up the game! One swing from Harper. He knew it the whole way. Are you kidding me? Hasn't done a damn thing all series, and then he busts that out at the exact moment we need it. Harper, 2-2. I had to let that run a little bit. I had to run that a little bit. My head now hurts because we've had nothing to talk about. Now we're screaming. Bryce Harper, he hit a baseball. What once was thought to be an impossibility is now real. In the United States, after that streak of only having like 8 hits in their last 800 at-bats, they tie it up on a Bryce Harper home run. Holy Wow. And now, Aaron Judge. Hey, let's get a pattern going here. Guys who are absolutely hoarse, you know what, with the bats here. Let's see if they can now get a streak going here. 1-1, that cut there from Judge. Fouled off, got a good piece of Salvador Perez as well. Harper, as he rounds third base and walks home, gives the salute. Love that. It's probably my favorite United States tradition. Harper, a crazy bat flip, almost bonks Pete Crow Armstrong on the head as he jumps out of the dugout. And the United States, oh, we actually are competitive. We're competing. It's 2-2. Judge, 1-0, or 1-1, excuse me. Swings over top of that changeup. 1-2 now. DeRosa. If you haven't already, I know reports said he'd be good to go tonight. Let's get Mason Miller up and moving here. Get Big Miller up there. Dude's been untouchable. I want Mason Miller on speed dial right now. He should have been already before this happening even started. But I just want to make sure. If you need a game manager or something, I know it's not football. I'll be your guy, DeRosa. I'll be your man. Well, let's get Mason Miller up and rolling here. 1-2 on Judge. Brief mound visit there from Salvi Perez. 0-3 tonight is Judge. Can he change that? Pitch. Right there. Bottom of the zone. And Judge, because he's, 8 feet tall, doesn't realize that's a strike. But hey, to the top of the 9th, and we have ourselves the most improbable of circumstances. A tied ball game off of a Bryce Harper home run. Cannot believe I am saying those words right now. To the 9th, we go. 17 of you in here right now. Welcome to the live stream. Please, on your way in, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like, share, leave a comment in the comment section. THP, I see your comments in the comment section. I promise we'll get to them here in a minute. I'm going to take the last timeout of the night here before we go into this photo finish in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Stay where you are. Do not move an inch. Okay, good people. Crazy that now all of a sudden we have some juice here on this live stream for really the first time tonight. It is a tied ball game right now, top of the 9th. This U.S. offense that was DOA for really the past 2 games came to life a little bit. A Bryce Harper 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th. And now we're on to the final frame here before possible extra innings. Mason Miller is not in the game for the United States, but it is the next best option. This dude was lights out before Miller pitched in the Dominican Republic game. It is Garrett Whitlock of the Boston Red Sox who is on the pitch, though right now not doing so hot. He has fallen behind the number 3 hitter in Venezuela's lineup, Luis Arias. Eugenio Suarez and his power bat awaits on deck. The 3-1 from Whitlock, and it is, oh, come on. We're going to call stuff, you know, a smidge outside all night long. Let's be consistent here in the later innings. Whitlock put that one in a spot that has been called pretty much all night. Doesn't get the call there. And it is a 5-pitch walk for Whitlock here in the top of the 9th. Do not give Venezuela any sort of momentum back the other way. And now it is Suarez. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Javier Sanoa is now going to come in the game. He there is now pinch hitting for Arias. So the first baseman for Venezuela exits. Sanoa, a utility man who's also a speed demon on base on the pinch run. And that pitch there, sweeping slider outside from Whitlock, and that is going to urge Will Smith to go out to the mound and calm down his guy a little bit. The full infield for the United States now coming in on the diamond. That is 6 pitches for Whitlock, 5 of which for balls. Got to dial in now. Do not make me eat my words on saying you are the next best option in the bullpen besides Mason Miller. Lock in here, Garrett. 1-0 on Suarez. Sanoa takes his lead and might have been leaning a little bit towards second. Pickoff move from Whitlock. Harper did not go to apply a tag at all, but Sanoa definitely was scrambling there to get back in. Another right-hander is up in the bullpen right now for the United States. Here's the 1-0 from Whitlock to Suarez. And Suarez, his eyes lit up, that fastball riding up above the zone. He took a hack at it and missed. Now 1-1. Suarez steps back in. 1-1. The pitch. Whitlock. Runner goes. Sanoa down to second and oh, he just got in there. Pitch was called a ball. DeRosa putting his hand up here. Hang on, we might want to challenge. The U.S. is challenging. That was so close there. Will Smith, a one-hop strike to second base. Terang, the second baseman, had to bring the glove back across a little bit. Did Sanoa come off the bag at all? Doesn't look like it. I think it's going to be an unsuccessful challenge here for the United States. But to be quite honest, you know, top of the 9th here, how many other opportunities are you going to get to challenge something here tonight? So it's a got to do it, even though, you know, it's likely not going to happen there. So Sanoa is going to have a stolen base here at second. That play was super, super close. It was a one-hop strike. Terang able to pick it on the short hop, just didn't get the tag back in front of the bag in time to get Sanoa. From the back angle there, the camera shot from center field, it does look like it is closer to being bang-bang than what the behind home plate cam shows. The review here. So the runner is safe. The call stands here. Sanoa, pinch runner, goes in there, does his job, gets the stolen base. It's now 2-1 on Suarez to boot, and with nobody out here, I mean, 2 fly balls to the right areas of the field. That's going to give Venezuela the lead once again. Suarez here on a 2-1 count. Pitch from Whitlock. Nasty changeup that turned back in. Suarez, another swing and a miss. Count now goes to even 2-2. Going to get to your comments here in a second. 2-2 to Suarez, and he is going to pop this one back in. Out of play. THP here. Needed surgery, etc. Got it in February here. Well, we'll say a few months ago. Mentioned my dad. Yeah, I do remember that. THP needed surgery. Got it in February 23rd. Is doing great. Appreciate you guys and any prayers, Brady and Steel City Dad Concepts, etc. Thank you. Appreciate that THP for the shout out and the update too. We did not forget your dad in here. We do remember you telling us about it and that he was going stuff. I'm glad that, even through all of that, THP, you kept on coming back to the channel here. We're glad to have you. And that is a gap shot for Eugenio Suarez, and it is going to give Venezuela the lead back again. And Suarez is in the second, a stand-up double. There we go. That's bad news, but your news there is good, THP. We have been praying for your dad. Glad to hear that he is doing very, very well. Good to hear that. As I typed Harper, come on USA. Those were the most recent comments. And now that come on USA, it's going to be needed to get the guys' bats going again because they're now back down by a run. Suarez, liner into the left center field gap. Gets down. Sanoa scores easily. Suarez into second with a stand-up double. Now a bunt attempt here, maybe, for Andreas Jimenez. Squared, took the pitch for a strike. Trying to move Suarez up to third here with nobody out. Jimenez 1 for 8 in the WBC. Harper came charging in at that bunt attempt. Does Sanoa show again? Or Jimenez, excuse me. Swing and a miss from Jimenez. Now 0-2 on him. Whitlock here trying to work himself out of one hell of a jam. Venezuela up 3-2. 0-2 on Jimenez with a runner in scoring position at second. Grounder to the right side. Harper's going to stab it, but it's in foul territory. Count remains at 0-2. Whitlock here is pitched quite often here in the WBC. Got to wonder if he's on some sort of pitch count. U.S. again does have a man warming up in the bullpen as well. The pitch from Whitlock. Jimenez, foul. I have no idea how he got a piece of that. That pitch was damn near in Will Smith's glove as, the bat went through the zone. Fouled that one off quite late. 0-2, Whitlock. Fouled again by Jimenez, this time down the right field line. So Jimenez here, 0-2. He is in automatic swing mode, swinging at everything he sees. Suarez still at second base, waiting. 0-2 again. Delivers. Jimenez, foul again. Jeez, this is a battle here. 0-2 between Jimenez and Whitlock. We'll do it again. Venezuela, the players in the dugout, turning to the crowd, hyping them up. 0-2 again, Whitlock, and finally a ball taken upstairs by Jimenez. Count now at 1-2. This will be the 8th pitch of this at-bat here from Whitlock to Jimenez. The pitch, and Jimenez pops this one. It's going to be into shallow left field. Roman Anthony's going to make the catch there. Suarez cannot advance. So there's one out there. Big first out for Whitlock. And now he's up to 20 pitches. And yeah, DeRosa's going to go get him. Had a feeling that was going to be Whitlock's, final batter there with how deep that at-bat went. And now he is going to exit the ball game. But the damage has been done. Eugenio Suarez, as much as we want to, crap on him here, what he did to the Pirates this offseason, he delivers for his country. Gap shot gives Venezuela the 3-2 lead. Got to update the score bug here. This Bummed out. 3-2. Now the score. New pitcher coming on for the United States back here to the comment section. THP, keep fighting, boys. It's all they can do, just like your dad, THP. Awesome news. All family here for each other. Glad to hear great news. Indeed. New pitcher oncoming here for the United States. It is going to be Tyler Rogers. So you go from Whitlock, who's been your second best reliever, to now the funky pitcher Rogers, who, throws that ball nearly skimming his knuckles off the dirt. We'll see what he can do. Still 10 of you in here. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. We have 772 subscribers here on the channel. Would appreciate it if maybe we can get to 75 before the night ends. That would be pretty awesome. Come to this channel because of the people. God bless y'all. God bless you too, THP. Glad to have you. As always, nice community we've got here. You, Flacco, Concepts, some other guys that pop in here on the regular freight train, Jonathan Harvey, those types of guys. Al on the Prowl, True Thong. You guys pop in here. Glad to have you guys. Also got some new viewers in here tonight. Henry Pratt. Had another guy in here. I think his name was Justin Barger. He popped in here tonight. Got another viewer in here in the comment section right now. Aditya Koirela. I'm just going to call you Adit. You are 15 seconds late. That might just be, the normal YouTube delay. Usually YouTube live streams compared to live events, they are, somewhere in the 10 to 15 second range in terms of a delay. Tyler Rogers indeed on for the United States. It's a 1-1 count here to Ezequiel Tovar. And Tovar, this one would be a home run in an elevator shaft. Popped up to the right side of the infield, and it is caught there by Bryce Terang. And I have no idea what Eugenio Suarez was doing. He might have thought it was 2 outs because he strayed way too far off of second base. No, actually, he stole third. Suarez went to steal third, slid into third base, and then he had to get up and race back and slide back into second. So that's why I just saw him come flying back into the screen. Terang makes the catch. 2 gone now. There's a talk between Suarez and the umpire. As now, after that pop out there a moment ago from Tovar, we're now going to see once again here tonight, Wilyer Abreu come up to bat. Abreu had one of the difference-making plays in this game, a home run, solo shot. Gave Venezuela a 2-0 lead. There's an umpire review here. Trying to see what it is. Are they maybe seeing if Suarez touched up back at third base after sliding in there? I think so. Suarez here slides into third. He takes a step towards home. I think the momentum of his body and his kick-up slide took him towards home. And then, he might be saved by, like, his pinky toe. Suarez, before he took off back to second base. Okay, the runner did probably read Dutch. The call is confirmed. I says Suarez, as he slid into third base, his momentum on his pop-up slide took him towards home plate. And then as he took off back to second base, he didn't intentionally touch on third. Instead, his foot ever so gracefully grazed third base, which counted as a touch-up. So Suarez is safe back at second base. And as Wilyer Abreu is about to step into the box, the umpire is going to flash the 4. So it is a walk, intentional walk here for Abreu. That makes a force at any of the infield bases. And it brings up Salvador Perez now, the catcher and captain of Venezuela here. 1 for 3 tonight with a single. Also came across to score one of Venezuela's 3 runs, and this is a huge spot for him. Perez, as the captain of Venezuela, you know he'd love to come up big for his country here. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Perez takes the first pitch from Rogers inside. It's 1-0. Rogers here trying to work out of a jam just like he did against the Dominican Republic, coming in for Paul Skeens 2 nights ago. Rogers deals. Perez drives one left field, going back, and just shy of the wall is Roman Anthony. Perez gave it a ride, but Anthony able to stick with it. And that's the final out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the past 15 or so minutes, we went through a roller coaster. We went from down in the dumps, this Team USA lineup can't do anything, to, hey, we might actually have something with the Harper home run to tie it. Venezuela reclaims a 1-run lead. And now, last chance here. You got 3 outs to work with here for the United States. World Baseball Classic championship on the line. Venezuela, most likely bringing in Daniel Palencia, their closer, who throws gas to try to close this one off. For the United States, the 4, 5, and 6 batters in the lineup. Schwarber, Pregame, Anthony. Schwarber 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Pregame 0 for 3. Anthony 0 for 2 with a walk. And if indeed it is Palencia who's coming in, you have got to, if you're Mark DeRosa, pinch hit Alex Bregman, put Gunnar Henderson in there with, a righty coming in on the mound. But we shall see here. They might go to a lefty. They did have double barrel action in the bullpen not too long ago, so they could just skip Palencia, the right-hander, altogether and bring in one of their lefties. Mentioned those here. They got Jose Alvarez in the bullpen. They got Emmanuel De Jesus, who's pitched well in this WBC, I believe. Jonathan Diaz as well is out there, so we'll see who Venezuela goes with here. But you got Schwarber, Bregman, and Anthony right now. And we'll see if there's any pinch hitters along the way. THP in here. I like Schwarbs and Anthony. I'll take Will Smith to do something. THP coming in here with one last bit of optimism here, trying to will something on here. Looking over to my right, indeed it is Daniel Palencia, the flame-throwing right-hander, constantly sits in the 100 to 101 region with his fastball. He's going to come in and try to close this out right now. Scheduled to face 2 lefties and a righty, but if I had to guess for the United States, Gunnar Henderson's probably an easy pinch hit candidate for Alex Bregman coming up here. But we begin the bottom of the 9th, ladies and gentlemen. Last chances here. 3 outs. Henderson is on the on-deck circle. Schwarber, over 2 tonight. First pitch to him, up high from Palencia. Ball 1. We are now dialed in. We will get to the rest of the comment section if there's anything after this game. 1-0, Palencia to Schwarber. Schwarber chops this one right side, but it is foul. Four-seam fastball, top of the zone from Palencia. Henderson leading Team USA in OPS this WBC in the on-deck circle. Waiting for his first crack at it tonight. Schwarber, 86-mile-an-hour splitter. Dropped in at the top of the zone. Schwarber, eyes lit up like Christmas trees, and he swung under it. 1-2 now. Palencia. The pitch. That pitch, 99 miles an hour. Well up and outside. Count goes to 2-2. Even. All Harper and Aaron Judge on the bench can do is watch. 2-2. Schwarber swings and misses. 98 from Palencia. Top of the zone. And it's one down for the United States. Late on that fastball too with Schwarber, and that gives him now 3 strikeouts tonight from your number 4 hole hitter. Outstanding lineup construction by Mark DeRosa. Maybe the last true chances here for the United States now that Schwarber's out of the way. The 2 men, besides anybody who's a pitcher responsible for Team USA making it to tonight's game, Palencia is going to have to go through them. Henderson up to bat here as a pinch hitter, 6 for 14 in this tournament with 2 home runs. Comes out to a .429 batting average. First pitch from Palencia, ball high, 97 for ball 1. Henderson, Anthony here in the 9th. Maybe the 2 best guys the United States can have up this inning, given what their offense has done. Henderson swings, pitches, popped up a mile high. Mikhail Garcia on the left side of the infield makes the catch, and it is 2 gone here for the United States. And the Venezuelan dugout absolutely hyping up this majority Venezuelan crowd in Miami tonight. 1 out away from their first ever World Baseball Classic championship in the very first time they make the WBC final. Anthony, last hope here for USA with 2 gone. 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Palencia's first pitch to Anthony. Again, ball high, 98 mile an hour. Anthony quickly back in. High pressure spot for this 21-year-old. Palencia the pitch. Anthony, that pitch right on the outside of the strike zone. Called a strike. One and one now. Palencia. Bit of a break here. Palencia is actually tying his shoe that came undone on the mound. Now he's ready again. Anthony awaits. Palencia. The pitch. Anthony. Splitter. Started inside, worked its way back into the strike zone. 1 and 2. Miguel Cabrera. Fired up in the Venezuela dugout. Everyone on the top railing. Palencia. Now a step off here for Palencia, and he having some issues with his pitch calm here. Trying to get the right call in. Perez comes out to meet him. They fix their issue, and now they'll go back to their positions. 1 and 2. Palencia trying to end things for Venezuela. Give the country their first World Baseball Classic victory. Palencia the pitch. Swung on and missed by Roman Anthony. And Venezuela, for the first time in their country's history, the first time they go to the World Baseball Classic final, they take down the United States 3-2 and have won the 2026 World Baseball Classic. The celebration begins for Venezuela. So much emotion and passion from that squad, similar to what we saw from the Dominican Republic and really all of those sort of Latin America countries. In that sort of reaction here. Don't want to see anybody out there, saying, oh, the WBC doesn't really mean anything. There's a look out of all the people that Fox wanted to cut to in the dugout right there, all the disheveled and downtrodden faces for the United States dugout. They put the camera there on Paul Skeens, which by my count here, my total here, Paul Skeens probably the last guy on the Team USA roster, along with maybe a few other pitchers to blame for Team USA coming up short here in the WBC. Celebration continues here for Venezuela. Tears on the face of Eugenio Suarez. Salvi Perez picking up more people. There's sour lemon face Mark DeRosa. He better not be manager of the Team USA in 2028 for the Olympics, assuming that players go there, or the 2029 World Baseball Classic. DeRosa better not even be anywhere on the list of potential manager candidates for the United States. Instead, top guy on my list for manager. I want to manage the team next in the WBC. Can't do much worse, for being honest here, in terms of lineup construction, getting the guys, to show just a single ounce of energy compared to Venezuela. Putting in the right pitchers at the right spots. But instead, here we are. Yeah, he was. Skeens pissed beyond belief. I want Don Kelly. I would love for a guy like Don Kelly or another big league pitcher or big league manager to be Team USA's manager. But again, as much as I love it, I just don't think it's going to be allowed by an organization to say, hey, we're going to send our manager, the dude who's our field general here for our organization, take 2 weeks off and go coach a country here. So yeah, but Skeens is pissed. Hopefully pissed off for greatness and for glory this year. Skeens, now he's going to go back to the team that we care about a lot here on the channel here. And the Pirates on to Pittsburgh Pirates baseball now. So hopefully Skeens able to chew on this loss a little bit and it pisses him off so that he can go out there and have another Cy Young caliber season and get the Pittsburgh Pirates to the postseason for the first time in damn near a decade. In fact, over a decade, actually. So that's going to wrap things up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Final score, Team USA 2, Venezuela, off of a RBI double from Eugenio Suarez in the top of the 9th. They get 3. Venezuela, in their first World Baseball Classic final appearance, they win the whole thing. So that's going to wrap things up here for tonight. Looking ahead for the week here on the channel, we'll probably be back here tomorrow night for, a regular Pittsburgh news live stream and SCSR 60. Thursday, going to leave Thursday kind of open to see how things shake out after we talk tomorrow about all we need to talk about. And then Friday, we'll probably wrap up the week here on the channel in some way, shape, or form. So that's going to do things here for tonight. Want to thank you all, by the way. This has been fun. I know in terms of everything we talk about here on the channel, with it being, mostly strictly a Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates Pittsburgh professional sports channel, I do want to thank each and every one of you that have come and helped this channel expand into a new area, which was international sports. We were here for every single men's Olympic ice hockey game as Team USA Hockey. went on to win its first gold medal since 1980. You still got the jersey hanging right here behind me. Another one in this chair right here below the Paul Skeens jersey that's in here. So that was fun. We got some great viewership on those games, and also for the 3 USA World Baseball Classic games we were live for. We've had decent crowds for those as well. So the channel stepping outside of, its normal coverage area for USA baseball and hockey, it has been, in my opinion, a success. And I want to thank each and every one of you who kept coming back, chiming in the comment section, subscribing to the channel throughout that whole thing. This was fun. This didn't end the way we wanted to, but the hockey thankfully did. So it was a fun time covering the United States in their international best on best sports. Next time that we probably do something like this covering Team USA, I want to say it will be maybe next year, 2027. The World Cup of Hockey will be going on. I think we talked on the channel yesterday the places where those games are going to be held. One bracket over in Czechia, one bracket here back in Canada, the finals in that back here in here in North America and Canada as well. So probably the next time I'll be on here repping, some sort of USA jersey of some sort, it will be for the World Cup of Hockey. And then after that, probably the Olympics in 2028, the Summer Olympics, rooting on Team USA baseball for that as well. So, but yeah, this didn't end the way we did tonight, but thankfully we did get some entertainment from our USA teams throughout the Olympics and the WBC. So on to different things now here on the channel, getting back into our area of expertise and coverage. Pittsburgh Pirates baseball, the season opener right around the corner, little over a week from now. Pittsburgh Penguins hockey continues to roll on. The Pens, by the way, what an outstanding win for them last night. Just straight belt to ass for 3 periods on the Colorado Avalanche. And then before we know it, we'll blink in the NFL draft that we cover a lot here on the channel. It'll be here before we know it. So excitement here on the channel as we move into the months ahead past this international sports period, and excited to get things going then as well. So I'm done talking now, done spieling. I want to thank you all one last time for tuning back in here tonight and for throughout the Olympics and WBC. We'll be back here tomorrow night. On your way out, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss a thing here on the channel. Again, like this live stream, share this live stream, leave a comment in the comment section, any thoughts on your mind after the fact. Go give the channel a follow at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and we'll see you back here tomorrow probably. So have a good rest, or what's left of it, a good, rest of your 56 hours of Tuesday night. See you back here tomorrow. Peace.